You're having a hard time in life. Things just ain't really going right. You're thinking about what should be your next move. You're thinking maybe you should just take one or two steps forward or backwards. No, don't go back, don't go back ahead. It's for show. In the future, that's where it's at. Don't worry about nothing that's behind your back. But one thing is for sure, baby, oh baby, no, you're not alone. We all over here feeling that. But what we gotta do is keep it the groove.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna
Be just fine.
Everything's gonna work alright.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Alright.
Try to take this and you fail. You try to do that, you get setbacks. And then you're wondering why. Can't you break through the storm? You see them, they got it all. But baby boo, don't worry about them. Just focus on your own rest. Maintain it, water it, give it some light. You'll be alright.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be alright.
Alright. All right. Let me turn this music down a little bit. All right, this is Ike on the Mind of Steel tonight. Like you already know, I do this broadcast every Tuesday and Thursdays at this time. And this podcast is all about self-empowerment, how to use our mind, our thoughts to really change everything that's going on in our lives, okay? If this is the first time you're joining me, welcome. I'm sure you will get something of value from this talk tonight. All right, tonight I'll be talking about how to master fear, or the master technique to overcome fear, to take the master technique to not be afraid on how to overcome fear. You know, we were born with only two fears, okay? The fear of falling and the fear of noise. Those are the two fears that we are born with. And a big part of tonight's talk is from the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Dr. Joseph Murphy is, this book is really a great book where he shared a lot of his thoughts and ideologies and philosophies and things concerning every area and aspect of our lives. Okay, he talks a lot about these things and gives detailed description of how things work and how we can change things, situations, circumstances in our life. So a big part of tonight's talk is how to overcome fear. And definitely tonight's talk, I hope you will find value in this. You'll find something of great value. So before I go into the main points of tonight's talk, I want to do ask you to invite family and friends, share this video, share it among your family, friends, and subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to follow me on Facebook, like my channel on Facebook, on Instagram, follow, share. Feel free to share this. If you have any, also, if you have any questions, you can type it in the comment section, or if you have any thoughts you want to share, type it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to address or answer or share some thoughts with you regarding those things. Okay. All right. This is Ike Steele, and this is the Mind of Steel tonight. And how was your weekend? How was your Labor Day? First of all, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Labor Day. Even tonight, I understand there's a basketball game going on, and Houston and the Lakers are playing. And but it's a pleasure for you to join me tonight. Well, the most important part of basketball, anyway, is the fourth quarter. That's where everything goes down. As a matter of fact, not even the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter is the most exciting part of basketball. So stay with me here for a few minutes. I'm sure you'll get back to doing whatever you need to do. But I do appreciate your company for joining and listening to my thoughts on things and the use of your mind and the use of your subconscious mind. So tonight's talk, definitely, I wanted to say, I'll start by saying that one big thing that one big part of my talk, of my podcast, is that our thoughts control our feelings control our actions. Okay. And our thoughts, feelings, and action is a composite of our attitude. Okay. There's nothing preordained or predestined or predetermined in life. Everything that we achieve in life or that happens to us is as a use of how we use our mind, how we use our thought, how we think of things, how we apply our mind to things. You know, man creates his state all day by his thinking. And thoughts are things, thoughts are powerful things. If you think in terms of fear, you will get fear. If you think in terms of faith, you will get faith. You know, there's nothing that anybody can say about you or to you that can control the outcome of your life. Nobody can curse you or say negative things about you and they become things, except you allow them, except you allow those things that are said about you or to you. You are not what people say about you. You are what you say about yourself. That is a master power and master use of your mind, of your thought power, of the way, because we create our circumstances every day, every second, by the way we use our mind. Okay. That is the kinds of things, you know, I like to share with you, because thoughts are powerful things, and man is made or unmade by the use of his mind. When you start to learn and to understand and to look at things from this point of view, start to understand that, you know, this world is a beautiful world. It's a simple world. We can change anything, you know, anything. We can get better in life. We can change anything. We can create any state we want by the way we think and the way we use our minds. But real quick, I just wanted to share something that happened recently. Well, I had a patient. That I did a test on this patient. It's a test, they call this test brain death scan. Brain death scan is a kind of procedure where you scan the patient with radioisotope to see how much blood flow is going to the brain, if the brain is still functioning. And it's a test pretty much to determine end of life, if the organs of the body are going to be harvested because the brain is no more alive. They want to see, medical community want to see if they want to harvest the organs and use them for transplant. Okay, pull this person out of life support. And even though this is a heavy story, that's why I'm a little bit emotional telling this story, because this young man is only 32. Okay, this young man was crossing the street, and this happened just recently, right? This young man was crossing a couple days ago, was crossing the street with his girlfriend, got hit by a car, and the car was moving at 56 miles per hour. Got hit by this car. His girlfriend died on the spot. The young man was taken to the hospital, and now a day after was being brought for a brain scan to see if he is going to be left on life support to recover, or if that's the end. Why I'm sharing this story with you is that life is things happen, and you cannot live life with holding on to a lot of things that eat you up inside, holding on to anger and hatred and jealousy and revenge and in all the 7 major negative habits, 7 major negative emotional feelings. You cannot live life like, because you don't know you don't know what is going to happen the next minute, right? So the same thing with fear. When you're living in fear of dying, fear of falling, fear of the mortgage, fear of the car note, if my car is going to be reposted, if I'm going to lose my job, fear of ill health, fear of sickness, fear of disease, fear of coronavirus, fear of this, fear of that, fear of my child, getting hurt, fear of my uncle, my brothers or sisters or siblings getting hurt. Just fear of everything or anything is not good. So the quicker you take charge of this thought, because fear is a thought feeling, right? And any thought can be controlled by substituting that thought with good thinking or good feeling. When you substitute any thought with the opposite, that's how you get rid of whatever thought you do not want to have, whatever thought is negative and impacting your life negatively. So the key is to substitute negative thoughts for positive thoughts. Negative thoughts for positive thoughts. So I'm going to read a few passages, or a few lines, or a couple of lines from the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, but because it tells us beautifully how those things work. And I just love the way he puts it. I love the way he shares, his thoughts and in the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Well, before I go into the reading this book, I just want to say that problems are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. It's not what happens, it's not the problems that come to us that matters, but it's what we do about it. It's how we handle it. It's how we respond to it. That is the most important thing. That is what determines the outcome of our lives and the results that we get. So before I read this, let me go to the page about fear. Okay. All right, here we go. I guess I just I took my I took my fingers off the page I wanted to read. Okay. All right, here we go. It says, man's greatest enemy. It is said that fear is man's greatest enemy. Fear is behind failure, sickness, and poor human relations. Millions of people are afraid of the past, the future, old age, insanity, and death. Fear is a thought in your mind, and you are afraid of your own thought. Fear is a thought in your mind, and you're afraid of your own thoughts. A little boy can be paralyzed with fear when he is told there is a boogeyman under his bed who is going to take him away. When his father turns on the light and shows him there is no boogeyman, he is freed from fear. The fear in the mind of the boy was as real as if there really was a boogeyman there. He was healed of a false thought in his mind. The thing he feared did not exist. Likewise, most of your fears have no reality. They are merely a conglomerate, this word, conglomeration of sinister shadows, and shadows have no reality. Do the thing you fear the most, and that's another way you can overcome fear. When you face the thing you fear the most, you overcome it. There's a saying, I guess somebody, if I can remember the quote, it says, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. If I remember who said that quote, I'll give it to you. So, anyways, continue reading the book. It says, do the thing you fear. Ralph Waldo Emerson, philosopher and poet, said, do the thing you are afraid to do, and the death of fear is certain. There was a time when the writer of this chapter was filled with unutterable fear when standing before an audience. I guess the writer, Dr. Joseph Murphy, used to be have the fear of public speaking. Most of us have the fear of public speaking. I had the fear of public speaking. I grew up very shy, very, very shy. I couldn't talk, if there was more than one person, I just couldn't talk. This fear kind of paralyzed me and I just choked. But over time, I overcame my fear. I guess a big part of me overcoming my fear was when I moved to Hollywood. I started taking acting classes, and that helped. But the biggest part of me overcoming my fear was just facing it and doing it. I remember the first time I spoke I spoke in a crowd. I gave a speech to a big audience, right? The thought of bombing or the thought of not doing well came, but I had to give myself a self-talk. So because I've already learned to talk to myself, and your self-talk is how you build confidence. You build confidence by talking to yourself. So a big part of me overcoming my fear also is when I started embracing who I am, getting to know who I am, and knowing that I can do anything that I put my mind to do. I can do anything. And I started to talk to myself, tell myself that I'm confident. I like myself. I love myself. I am good. I'm as good as anybody out there to do this. I So self-talk helps a lot to overcome whatever fears that might creep into anything you want to do. So reading the book, it says the way I overcome it was to stand before an audience, do the thing I was afraid to do, and the death of fear was certain. When you affirm positively that you are going to master your fears and you come to a definite decision in your conscious mind, you release the power of the subconscious, which flows in response to the nature of your thought. Tell me, you can share this in comment if you want. What are you afraid of the most? What fears are you trying to overcome, or do you want to overcome? I can share some thoughts with you on how to overcome them. If you want to go deep into it, I can share some more thoughts and some more ideology, because when I started reading, it says thoughts. Fear is a thought in the mind. Fear is a thought in the mind, and you can overcome these thoughts by replacing them with good thoughts or opposite thoughts to what you are afraid of. Okay, so just looking at the next example I was going to give us tonight on tonight's talk. Wow, we've already gone 20 minutes. Amazing how time flies when you're having fun, right? So a big part of my channel, a big part of my podcast also is learn to talk to yourself, because we are always having this inner talk all day long. And our self talk, this is how we use our imagination to create states. And these states that we create become real in the objective world. So when, just observe the thoughts that you're thinking on a daily basis, you realize that you're creating this state, and this state that you create is what eventually manifests in the objective world, in the physical world. It's just like saying that it's the same thing as saying our reflection in the mirror is only a result of what we are currently. What you are is what you reflect in the mirror. So if you want a different reflection in the mirror, you have to change the cause. The cause is you. You change you, then the reflection will change. So circumstances will change when you change inward, in our imagination, in your thinking, in the internal part of you, because everything that we see in the physical world takes place inside, takes place in the unseen world first. It takes place in our imagination, and then it becomes a thing in the physical world. So overcoming fear is a big part of overcoming fear is overcoming, replacing the thoughts of whatever you're afraid of internally with things, the opposite of that thing you face, you confront. If you're afraid of elevators, see yourself in the elevator, climbing or using the elevator. If you're afraid of water or swimming, see yourself swimming, relaxed and having a good swim. If you're afraid of snakes, if you're afraid of dogs, if you're afraid of poverty, of losing your spouse, losing your mate, if you're afraid of disease, of anything, see yourself using or doing or going through that thing, in your mind, and overcoming it in your thoughts, in your imagination. Then the reality in the objective world, in the physical world, it's very powerful. I encourage and I suggest that you get a copy of this book. You can get a copy of this book and read it. You can even get it on YouTube. download the all audio version or listen to the audio version on YouTube for free. And it's just amazing because you just start to see things totally from a different point of view, and the way you look at things, when you change the way you look at things, the thing you look at changes. That's a fact. Somebody said, I thought it only rained on the poor until I discovered, it rained on the rich also. So problems are not special gifts reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The only difference between the rich and the poor is that they have the difference between the successful ones and the unsuccessful ones, not just rich and poor, is that the successful people have learned to solve their problems. That's why it looks like they don't have any problem. They've learned to solve their problems. Everybody has. Rich people have money problems, but they don't dwell on their problems. They look for solutions, and they focus on solutions, not problems. Big change in mindset when you begin to look and focus on solutions. The problems tend to dissipate. The problem tends to go away because creative mindset comes from a place of relaxation, a place of not a stressful worry thinking. When you're relaxed and have faith and confidence, you tend to, that's what helps creativity, and the mind just flourishes. The mind just goes into the creative process is you just create the environment for the creative process by using your mind right, by not letting fear and worry and doubt cripple your thinking. All right. So how to the master technique for overcoming fear is, I'm going to go through some pointers here in this book. All right, I just told you about if you're afraid of water. Okay, suppose you're afraid of water, which I've already talked about, a mountain, an interview, an audition, or you fear closed places. If you're afraid of swimming, you begin now to sit still for 5 or 10 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day, and imagine you are swimming. Actually, you are swimming in your mind. It is a subjective experience. Mentally, you have projected yourself into the water. You feel the chill of the water and the movement of your arms and legs. It is all real, vivid, and a joyous activity of the mind. It is not idle daydreaming. For you know that what you are experiencing in your imagination will be developed in your subconscious mind. Then you will be compelled to express the image and likeness of the picture you impressed on your deeper mind. This is the law of the subconscious. You could apply the same techniques if you were afraid of mountains or high places. Imagine you were climbing the mountain. Feel the reality of it all. Enjoy the scenery, knowing that as you continue to do this mentally, you will do it physically with ease and comfort. The same thing if you're afraid of elevators. You imagine, sit, 5 to 10 minutes and see yourself going through the elevator, going up and down the elevator, see yourself, paint this picture. It becomes a real thing in your mind. And that's how you overcome it, even when you go physically and get into the elevator. So man is born with only two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of noise. These are a sort of alarm system given you by nature as a means of self preservation. Normal fear is good. You hear an automobile coming down the road and you step aside to survive. The momentary fear of being run over is overcome by your action. All other fears were given to you by parents, relatives, teachers, and all those who influenced your early years. So this is very, very important, and I'm very big on this. Our environment, is a big part of who we become. So parents, mothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, their influence in our life as a child, as growing up, has a lot to do with how we see life, what we believe, what we term to be truth or not. So if you observe everything you're doing on a regular daily basis, where did you get it from? Where did you get this ideology that life is this way or that way? You got it from your mother, from your father, from your brothers, from your aunts, from your sisters, from the school, from the TV shows you watch, from the things you listen to, which is, the schools that you attended. So that's why it's very important that we empower our kids, we empower or focus on empowering thoughts and not fear thoughts, not fear of a child getting hurt, not fear of being mugged or being robbed, being attacked, being don't just heighten your thinking by all the things that could go wrong. Man is a product of his thought. We become what we think about, what the most dominant thoughts of our lives control our reality. That's what manifests in the objective world. So it's very, very important not to be consumed by fears of everything going wrong, but rather empower our imagination, our thought, our thinking with everything going well. So you can either think of things not working out, or you can think of things working out. So if you focus on what you want, that is how you can overcome fear. That's how you can overcome the negative things. That's how you can overcome anything that is disempowering, by focus on what you want. You do want to have a happy life. You do want to have a happy relationship. You do want to have a happy marriage. You do want to be a good parent. You do want to be a good mother, a good father, a good brother, a good aunt. You want to be this icon of strength to your family. So focus on that, and that would help what the vibration and what you give out in your thoughts, in your advice. And that's what you create the state of positivity, state of good coming and happening. So that's a very good way to overcome fear. So I'm going to go straight rapid fire into the latter part of this book, so I can drop some bullet points before we leave. Okay, but before I do that, I want to say, please share this page, share with family and friends, follow me on social media, follow me on social media, share on Instagram, share, and this kinds of message, I'm sure, can be a blessing to somebody. You don't know, people that are being crippled by all kinds of fear, but the more they hear stuff that can bring comfort and calmness and a peace of mind, this can be a blessing to somebody. So share, and even create watch parties with this. That would be an amazing action from you. Thank you very much. So let me go. Let's see. Okay. It says, the president of a large organization told me that when he was a salesman, he used to walk around the block 5 or 6 times before he called on a customer. The sales manager came along one day and said to him, "Don't be afraid of the boogeyman behind the door. There is no boogeyman. It's a false belief." The manager told him that whenever he looked at his own fear, he stared at them in the face and stood up to them, looking them straight in the eye. Then they faded and shrank into insignificance. So that's how you overcome fear, by approaching and confronting them straight in the face. Whatever it is you fear, approach or confront it, because when you confront it, the fear is bound to give away. Use this perfect formula for casting out fear. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. This is from the book of Psalms 34, verse 4. The Lord is an ancient word meaning law, the power of your subconscious mind. Learn the wonders of your subconscious and how it works and functions. Master the techniques given to you in this chapter. Master these things that I've talked about, and they are bound to produce good results. Put them into practice today. Your subconscious will respond, and you will be free of all fears. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. So we just, heard that the Lord is an ancient word meaning law, the power of your subconscious mind. So when you affirm and focus on the things that you want, not on the things that you are afraid of, that's how you overcome fear. All right, so real quick, I'm just going to read the steps as we round up on this podcast. These are steps, okay, to freedom from fears. Number one, do the thing you are afraid to do, and the death of fear is certain. Say to yourself and mean it, I am going to master this fear, and you will. Number two, fear is a negative thought in your mind. Supplant it with a constructive thought. Fear has killed millions. Confidence is greater than fear. Nothing is more powerful than faith in God and the good. Number three, fear is man's greatest enemy. It is behind failure, sickness, and bad human relations. Love casts out fear. Love is an emotional attachment to the good things of life. Fall in love with honesty, integrity, justice, goodwill, and success. Live in the joyous expectancy of the best, and invariably the best will come to you. I love this. I love this quote. Live in the joyous expectancy of the best. Always expect the best in everything, every day. This is how I condition my mind every day, to expect good things, to focus on good things. I'm living in the conscious expectancy of the best, and invariably the best will come to you. Number four, counteract the fear suggestions with the opposite, such as, I sing beautifully, I am poised, serene, and calm. It will pay fabulous dividends. Number five, fear is behind amnesia at oral and written examination time. You can overcome this. You can overcome this by affirming frequently, I have a perfect memory for everything I need to know. Or you can imagine a friend congratulating you on your brilliant success on the examination. Persevere and you will win. If you are afraid to cross water, swim. In your imagination, swim freely, joyously. Protect yourself, project yourself into the water mentally. Feel the chill and thrill of swimming across the pool. Make it vivid. As you do this subjectively, you will be compelled to go into the water and conquer it. This is the law of your mind. If number seven, if you're afraid of closed places such as elevators, lecture halls, etc., etc. Mentally ride in an elevator, blessing all its parts and functions. You will be amazed how quickly the fear will disappear or dissipate. Number 8, you were born with only two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of noise. All your other fears were acquired. Get rid of them. And you can get rid of them. We can get rid of every fear, fear of sickness, fear of losing a loved one, fear of losing a good man or losing a good woman, fear of sick of a disease, fear of losing your job, fear of losing your house, fear of losing your car, fear of losing anything, any kind of fear. We can overcome. You can overcome. You can get rid of it by empowering thoughts or empowering your mind with the things that you want. Normal fear is good. Abnormal fear is very bad and destructive. To constantly indulge in fear thoughts results in abnormal fear, obsessions, and complexes. To fear something persistently causes a sense of panic and terror. This is how people go become anxious or anxiety. Anxiety comes from fear, worry, and doubt. And anxiety goes to depression. Depression goes to disease. Disease goes to disintegration. Disintegration goes to death. It's a stage, it's a process, okay? It's a process. And so the quicker you handle fear and worry and doubt, the quicker you stop it from escalating. A lot of people take medication for anxiety or depression, but that's not the solution. The solution is finding out what is causing the fear in the first place, where the fear is coming from, because anxiety and depression comes from fear. Is fear, worry, and doubt. That's what causes anxiety. So when you handle that thing that's making you anxious, when you handle the worry and doubt, the fear tends to go away. Then there's no need for any medication. Okay, I just gave you a free diagnosis if that's something that is bothering you. I gave you free diagnosis and free treatment for every anxiety and anxious situation. If you have this, if you want to talk more about it, you can inbox me. I can share more detailed, in-depth, one-on-one, sessions with you and help get rid of whatever worry, doubt, and anxiety and thoughts of negativity. I can work with you and help you, get rid of any of those things. So what number am I? Okay, persevere and you win. I just talked about. Okay, get rid of them. Number 9. No. We're done. Number 9. Number 10. You can overcome abnormal fear. Let me just do number 9 again. Number 9. Normal fear is good. Abnormal fear is very bad and destructive. To constantly indulge in fear thoughts results in abnormal fear, obsessions, and complexes. To fear something persistently causes a sense of panic and terror. Number 10, you can overcome abnormal fear when you know the power of your subconscious mind can change conditions and bring to pass the cherished desires of your heart. Give your immediate attention and devotion to your desire, which is the opposite of your fear. This is the love that casts out fear. I would like to say that last part again. Give your mind your immediate attention and devotion to your desire, which is the opposite of your fear. This is the love that casts out fear. Number 11, if you're afraid of failure, give attention to success. If you're afraid of sickness, dwell on your perfect health. If you're afraid of an accident, dwell on the guidance and protection of God. If you are afraid of death, dwell on eternal life. God is life, and that is your life now. Number 12, The great law of substitution is the answer to fear. Whatever you fear has its solution in the form of your desire. If you are sick, you desire health. If you are in the prison of fear, you desire freedom. Expect the good. Mentally concentrate on the good and know that your subconscious mind answers you always. It never fails. Number 13, the things you fear do not really exist except as thoughts in your mind. This is a big part of this whole talk. It says the thing that you fear does not exist except as thoughts in your mind. So when you learn to handle your thoughts and control the way what you think, that's a big part of the solution of solving fear. Thoughts are creative. This is why Job said, "The thing I feared has come upon me. Think good and good follows." Number 14, look at your fears, hold them up to the light of reason. Learn to laugh at your fears. That is the best medicine. Number 15, and the last, says, nothing can disturb you but your own thoughts. The suggestions, statements, or threats of other persons have no power. The power is within you, and when your thoughts are focused on that which is good, then God's power is with your thoughts of good. There's only one creative power, and it moves as harmony. There are no divisions of quarrels in it. Its source is love. This is why God's power is with your thoughts of good. God's power is with your thoughts of good. So this chapter, 15th bullet point is the summation of everything I've talked about tonight, And as a matter of fact, I want to close this podcast by reading the 15th point again, because it is key to this whole thing, how you can master the technique. It is the master technique for overcoming fear. It says, nothing can disturb you but your own thoughts. So we give power to what people say by the way we think about it. You give power to any negative thing that someone says about you by your thinking. So if you can handle or not let whatever is said to you or done to you, then that thing dissipates because you did not give it any power. It's a very powerful tool, very powerful principle. Once you learn and understand this, you won't be worried about criticisms, about what people say about you. You will not be focused on what others say. What you say about you is the most important thing, is what controls the essence of your life. It says, nothing can disturb you but your own thoughts. The suggestions, statements, or threats of other persons have no power. The power is within you. And when your thoughts are focused on that which is good, then God's power is with your thoughts of good. There's only one creative power, and it moves harmony. It moves as harmony. There are no divisions or quarrels in it. Its source is love. This is why God's power is with your thoughts. This is why God's power is with your thoughts of good. All right, so that's it. I'm going to round up tonight's session. Thank you for staying with me this far. Miwa Haneji, thank you for staying with me. Thank you for listening and being a part of this podcast tonight. Olabode Olaoluwa, thank you for staying with me. Those of you who I can't really see on social media, that's why I'm not calling your name, because I guess this platform that I'm using to broadcast, is a little limiting to what I can see, to who I can see that is watching. But it's been a pleasure for letting me come into your world and be a part of your your evening or morning, depending on wherever you are, what part of the world you are. My name is Ike Steele, and this is the Mind of Steel. This channel is dedicated to using our mind positively, encouraging and creating the world of beauty, the world of abundance, the world of good, happy thoughts. Because when you focus, what you focus on expands, and when you focus on good, good comes. All right. This is Ike Steele, and I'm gonna end this broadcast with music, just the way we started. Okay. Thank you for being a part of this. God bless.
Metro on the You're having a hard time in life. Things just ain't really go right. You're thinking about what should be your next move. You're thinking maybe you should just take one or two steps forward or backwards. No, don't go back ahead is for show. In the future, that's where it's at. Don't worry about nothing that's behind your back. But one thing is for sure, baby, oh baby, no, you're not alone. We all over here feeling that. But what we gotta do is keep with the groove. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna work out right. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Alright. You try to do this and you fail. You try to do that, you get set back. And now you're wondering why. Can't you break through this wall? You see them, they got it all. But baby boo, don't worry about them. Just focus on your own rest. Maintaining, watering, give it some light. You'll be alright.
Everything's gonna be just fine.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be just fine. Everything's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be just fine.
Everything's gonna be alright. Alright. It'll be alright.
For the greater good.
Yep.
You work it out. God will. You know it. You can do it. You know it. So get to it. Get to it. Get to it. Get to it. Everything.
Oh Lord, I give thanks. Give thanks.
So get to it. Everything will be alright. Everything will be just fine. You know it. You can do it. You know it. So get to it.
All right. Thank you for listening and being a part of this broadcast. God bless.
You know it. You can do it. You know it. So get to it.
I'll see you in the next broadcast.